Welcome back to this channel. In this tutorial, we'll be learning how to play tonic solfa using the alternate method. This is part 2 of the tutorial. If you have not watched part 1, please go back to the part 1 video so that you can get a background to what we'll be discussing today. The link should show up shortly. Also, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe so that you can get more content like this. So we'll be looking at the alternate method just as we said, and our practice song would be A Mighty Fortress by Martin Luther. This score is in the key of D, but for our practice we'll be looking at the key of C. So step 1 is write the melody at the top and the bass at the bottom. As we can see, this is our score in the tonic solfa form, and we can see that the soprano or the melody note, which is usually sung by the sopranos, is at the top and the bass at the bottom. So we are going to move this here, and then we'll move this there, and then we can proceed. Let's now listen to the melody and bass line alone. So in step 2, we would have to identify the chord for each melody note. If you look at this, there are a number of notes which are under the melody note. So if you look at this, we have mi, so, and do. If you look at this melody note so, we have re, so, and ti. And this is my chord chart. So based on what groups of notes we find here, which correspond to these group of notes, we'll be able to identify which chord we are dealing with. So there are melody note, we have do, underneath it we have other notes, we have mi, we have so, and we have do. Now if we look at the chord chart, that tells us that we are dealing with the do chord. So we write it here. And we'll do the same thing here, the same do chord. Here, the same do chord. If we come here, we have so, re, so, and ti. We can find it here. So we write so there. If we look at this, we have la, re, fi, and la. So we are dealing with this part, that is the re chord. But because we have fi and we don't have the fa, it tells us that that is a major chord. So we just write re major. Then for this one, we have ti, re, and so. So we have our so chord. For this one, we have do, mi, and la. So we write the la. And then here we have la, re, and fa. So what do we write? We write the re, and then we can do that for the so. Ti, so. We all know that that is the so chord because we can find these notes here. Now we have to rearrange the notes forming the chord based on the inversions which has the melody at the top so that we can play it smoothly. So these are my chords and inversions. So we have the root position, we have the first and second inversion. So at the root position we have do, mi, and so. So is at the top. Now when we move do to this part on top of the so, we can form the first inversion. And now when we move mi to the top of the do, we would have what? The second inversion. And the same thing we are going to do for the so, the re, and then the la. So I'm going to play it. You can watch and listen to how it's going to sound and look at the positions, the root position, the first, and then the second inversions. So if you look at this, we can see that do is at the top. The inversion with the do at the top is the first inversion. So anytime we see a do at the top where we are dealing with a do chord, we are dealing with the first inversion. So we write number 1 here for the first inversion and write the arrangement of the first inversion, which is do at the top, beneath that so, and then under that mi. So for this one, do, 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 we have do here at the top, do here at the top, do here at the top. So we write the first inversion for these groups of notes. So that's what we've done here. Now when we move here, we saw that these ones were part of the so chord, and then la, re and fi is part of the re major chord. So we're going to look at it. If you look at this part and you look at the so, here we have what? The first inversion, because so is at the top. So we are going to write so, re and ti here and the first inversion there. And then when we look at the la as part of the re chord, la, re chord, the one with the la at the top is the root position. So we write the root position. So it's just an arrangement that we are doing so that it can help us to be able to play it very smoothly. Because if you take something like this, do is here and then that is mi and so, this is a large stretch. It will be difficult to be able to stretch your right hand to be able to play all these notes. But in this position, it's very, very easy to be able to play it with your right hand. So we'll do the same thing for the other ones. So here we have the T. It's part of the so chord. So we'll go to so chord, look for T, and there's a second inversion. So we write 2 here, representing the second inversion, and write the arrangement, T, so, and re. When we come here, do is part of the la chord. So we go to the la chord and look for do. It's a second inversion. So we write the do, la, and mi. Now the T is just a passing note, so we don't have to worry about this. When you come here, la is part of the re chord. So we go to the re chord and look for la, and it's a root position. So we write that there. And we do the same thing for so. So is part of the so chord, and we look at it, and it's the first inversion. So we write that there and do this arrangement. So after rearranging the notes, this is the final form of the tonic solfa transcription of the score that we saw earlier. So we are going to play this and you'd listen to how it's going to sound. Because of this new arrangement that we've done, you would see that it will be very easy for us to play smoothly from one note to the other, because the notes are not too distant such that we would have to use a large stretch to be able to reach them. So we are rearranging them so that we can have a comfortable position to be able to play smoothly between the notes. So we would have to practice the right hand. So the right hand is going to play these group of notes. So let's watch and listen to how it's going to sound. So for this step, we'll practice the left hand. So the left hand is going to play the bass notes, which you can either play as single notes or in octaves. So I'm going to play it first as single notes, then I'll play them as octaves so that you can see how we can play using the left hand. So let's watch and listen. Now we need to practice both hands together. So just watch and listen to how I'm going to practice both hands together. You always have to remember that you take it slowly. With time, the speed itself will come. So don't be in a hurry, don't rush. Just take it slowly, and with time, the speed itself would come. So let's watch and listen. So this brings us to the end of the tutorial. I'm sure by now you figured out how to play tonic solfa music, and the next time you see something written in tonic solfa, you'll be very comfortable and you can play them. Now you can apply the same principle to different keys until you master as many keys as possible, so that whatever song you are given to play, you will be able to play it comfortably in the tonic solfa.